Hello, 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 hello. What the fuck is going on? I don't know what's going on. It was working fine before. I stepped away and hello, hello, hello. So you can hear me. Something's wrong with my display. Twitch mob biter. You're playing. Okay, something really weird going on here. Maybe my sound is turned down. Everything is weird. All right, we're playing Electrofry. Electrofry. Sound is good. Okay, something's seriously wrong with my Streamlabs because it shows no, like I have no sound. That's extremely strange. I heard this cling, some kind of bug going on with the program. At least it makes it look like I don't have sound. You saw a picture of you in a high profile blog. Topic of like horrible streamers. All right, Electrify. We've only played once before. Electrify is relatively new here, guys. This is a rapid Swiss 7+3 casual Electrofry. So what are we doing? Playing a boring Queen's Gambit. I don't know if I can really exploit this This early C6 type of stuff that I always thought was inferior, it doesn't seem that bad actually, strangely enough. Welcome everybody. Have a good tournament. I don't have a lot of extra time between stuff I'm doing before this tournament and the tournament itself. So I kind of jump on and we're just like boom, we're starting the tournament. I have very rough schedule. At this time on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So we're just here we are. We're doing the tournament. Boom. Here we are. No introduction, no nothing. My Streamlabs desktop makes it look like I have no audio. I don't know what I did, but as long as you guys can hear me, that's all that matters. It would be nice to know that it worked properly. So yeah, this is this weird line that people play, and I don't want to transpose to an exchange variation. I think I've tried Queen C2, but then otherwise we sort of run out of things to do here. I always thought this was a mistake to passive line for black, but there's no refutation. You can definitively hear you. I don't get it. You know, it's just so weird. It was like literally 10 minutes ago when I turned on Streamlabs, the volume was like, you know, showing it up and down and working completely normally. I went down, made a coffee, came back, and it like doesn't work anymore, but whatever. Okay, rook e8 looks a little bit on the passive side. C'est la vie. Not a lot we can do here. I like to start quietly rather than playing e4. I don't feel like I'm a native e4 player, so whenever I play e4, I have to be kind of like tactically alert. I can play d4 and knight f3 and the English more on like autopilot if I'm not warmed up. Yesterday I had the 14-hour poker game. Well, actually 2 poker games. This is a bad move. I mean, knight h7 is a bad move. You're definitely making a mistake here. However, I don't know if I should trade or not. It's a small mistake, but it's a mistake. Still, it doesn't make it easy to decide which way to play here. All right, I'm going to go with bishop g3. Playing for cheapos. If knight f6, h3, knight h5, bishop h2, maybe I can avoid exchanges. That's another way you can try to trade pieces. Very logical. But we got him, right? We got him in the trap. Trapulov. Gary Trapulov. Look at this. This is educational. Gary Katrapulov. Because his queen is catrapped. Welcome, Sun Prism. Former subscriber. Saroche! Saroche is a mod. Alright, guys, don't be shy about subscribing. By the way, speaking of subscribing, tomorrow is analysis stream. Thursday. Boom! It's so rare you can actually get this tactic in a Queen's Gambit declined. Oh. Oh, okay. Queen mate. Take that, Electrify. I make a photo. First place the moment in the Swiss because of being late. Electrify. Knight h7 is a bad move. But it doesn't lose the game outright. Knight g5 loses the game outright. But I mean, okay. Look. There's a bunch of games here. No high-level names. Even Kovalenko has played one game back from 2017. Can't believe 2016 was 10 years ago. That's crazy, bro. You have to play pawn takes pawn, in the Capablanca's freeing maneuver here. Sometimes people will try b5, but I don't know if I trust this. All right. So, you were in first place with a draw? Not anymore. You better get your photo in quickly. Jeroen is playing a Dutch. Jeroen's opponent looks like they're playing the Dutch. It's like Jeroen. What is that? E5. Nice move. Jeroen. Jeroen. This is a nice move. Making your bishops great again. Black's bishop pair not an advantage. I'm surprised, though, that Black didn't take on e5. It seems like he should have taken on e5, no? But he wants to play differently. Okay. So if you take on e5, White can't take because of queen c5 check. I'm not sure that everybody noticed that. But maybe, pawn takes pawn. I mean, honestly, White doesn't need to take back. The damage is done. So maybe Black's right not to play that. He just keeps attention. But interesting position. Knight versus bishop. A bishop h8, a very extravagant looking move, so that we can laterally protect our pawn on h7. Oh shit. Wait, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, my volume still doesn't work. Now it shows. Oh. I'm sorry, that's crazy. That's why the volume, that's so weird. That's why my sound is okay. Wow, why is it on the start? So nobody asked me why is it on the starting soon screen. I didn't realize. I was focused on the audio, and I didn't realize I didn't, turn off the starting soon screen. And this is something I've never noticed. So while the starting soon screen is up, the microphone doesn't show, but it's actually working. Oh, that's weird. Nobody told me. If they did tell me, they must have thought I was doing it on purpose. I mean, they didn't tell me because they thought I was like doing it on purpose. Like I have a really bad hangover. Last week I didn't stream because I was tired. This week I also should have been tired, but I felt better this week. I played poker from 2 until, what did I play? 14 hours? 12? 14 hours last night from 2 to 4 a.m. 2 p.m. to 4 a.m. poker. 2 different games. But I'm surprisingly okay today, even after a little bit of vodka and some beers. You got to loosen up. That's funny. Black played bishop g7. Well, he induced bishop g7. Why didn't Black play queen g7? Maybe after queen g4 check. He probably didn't like knight g5. It looks like Black might be in trouble there. So bishop g7, queen h5. Black has to be careful here. Take the draw. Maybe he's just worse. Jeroen is capable of playing really, really well when he's in a good form. Unfortunately, like most of us, like most people, to some degree, not everyone is consistent. Jeroen's consistency is probably dependent on his condition, how many Palinkas he's had. Everybody thought I was shy and started slowly. Last week no stream, this week just audio. Right. Now I just totally was like freaked out by the fact that the microphone didn't work, and so I just got focused on it and didn't even bother to check that. Yeah, whatever. Sladgy is now a professional poker player again. Boy, this looks dangerous for Black. But we don't know who B3 Noob is. I mean, I have my suspicions, but I won't reveal my guesses. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for being a subscriber, Mr. Coffee. We've got Sun Prism, Twitch, Mobile Thor, Saronche in the house, Gobble Troll Mops. Small but devoted crew here while we wait for Asterbait to come back to Earth. Yeah, I've been really getting into playing live poker, and twice a week. So it's like half my work time is divided between playing poker and chess now. Um, what else is going on? Oh, I found. Did you get the message I sent you, Mr. Coffee? I sent you a Facebook message. Crazy thing. The New York Times word of the day. Did you see that? Did you see the Facebook post I sent you? New York Times word of the day. Yeah, it's safe. It's the New York Times. You know, if I send people stuff, I don't let people like hijack my social media and stuff. Brian Wall. I mean, if I send you something, it's safe. You can trust me. It's a crazy thing I learned. Bowdlerize is a word. Isn't that nuts? Bowdlerize. This is where the Bowdler system comes from. It's like, what is that? Who the fuck is Bowdler? Bowdler. Bill Bowdler. Oh, I sent it to the cat. Oh no. Maybe. No, I didn't think so. I don't think so, Mr. Coffee. No, I thought I sent it to you. Maybe I sent it to the wrong person. I don't know. I think I sent it to you. Hmm. I didn't send it to your cat. But just a crazy crazy fact. So it turns out that Bowdlerize is a word. So now we know where the Bowdler system comes from. I always thought that was weird. You know, never heard of it until I joined Lichess, and they had their opening names like from like Wikipedia or something. Bowdlerize is when you like take some dirty details out of a story or something like that. Like you make it you know, you make it, what's the word? Sanitize it a little bit or something, I guess. I'm like paraphrasing the definition I read in the New York Times. It's sort of like sanitizing some story or something like that. The Bowdlerize. All right. So the history of the Bowdler attack. Um, Stephen Morphy followed 3 days ago. That's good. So don't mean to neglect you guys. We've got the analysis stream tomorrow. Slung Prism needs to subscribe. We need a gift sub for Jeroen. Uber driver doesn't show up. Gobble Troll Mops. Gia Shockey is back. Electrify was here for one game. Happy Pawn claims that, listen to this, I saw a picture of you in a, quote, high profile blog on chess.com. What could that possibly be about? You have to retrace and research. I can only imagine. Can't be good. All right. So, Pawnda July Rapid Swiss. It's 7 rounds, 3 minutes between rounds, casual. We have thus far 9 players, not too many, but we'll work with it. But you guys, you need to donate and subscribe. The conclusion from playing live poker on a regular basis is that people are really bad at poker, mostly. And all those years of playing online full time ends up really paying off. I have a lot of routine and knowledge. My fundamentals in poker are very good. And most people are like self-taught. They're really bad. Similar to chess, you know. People that learn the wrong way, you know, they're going to be at a disadvantage, and you develop bad habits from an early stage. Anyway, Sun Prism versus Sparkle Horse, and confidence. Confidence is so important, isn't it? But not to be overconfident. The balance between confidence and overconfidence is very fine. So last time I tried this, Sun Prism killed me. You see this game 2 games ago? I'm scared. What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do to me? This is his new thing. It's a thing. So what do I feel like playing? Um, Symmetrical. All right, fine. I just do symmetrical. You see that you sent me something, but it's not showing up. You don't have Messenger on your phone. Okay. Anyway, it was just a New York Times article. You can look it up. New York Times word of the day: boulderize. Not a big deal. Mr. Coffee is very hard. You know, he's like on the FBI's witness protection program, so very hard to get in contact with him if you need him for something. Um, Social media is pretty bad, but it is good for a few things. So D6. My V contact. The guy who created Telegram and V contact, the big Russian Facebook, is like now wanted by the Russian authorities. He has dual French and his name is Dobov or something. I forget. Some billionaire. French and UAE citizenship. Good luck with that. Why not just have someone assassinate him? What's the point of like sending out like a Russian? The Russian authorities want you. What am I doing here, Bishop F5? I have a good record in this system. Strelak. Although, did we ever play this? Did I make a mistake already? No. I played Bishop takes C3 against some people. World Senior game 2 years ago. We could still do it. I don't care. Sun Prism suddenly became like a 1G3 expert. Where did that come from? He goes from playing E4 to playing the English. And he's like a French defense player. That's extremely strange, you know? I've seen people pick up the English who are Sicilian players, and that kind of makes sense, right? Please wait. So, Mr. Coffee, how are things? It's really weird not having Astrobate around here. I guess we play knight f6, huh? I wanted to play, e6, but then he has knight f4 with the knight on f4 attacking the bishop on h3. Kind of awkward. This is a solid system for black, but it's very hard to play for a win. I have a bunch of draws now. Against Doug Eckert, I drew. Against the French guy at the World Senior, I drew. I had another draw. At least like I must have like 4 draws with this system. Once I lost in a game where I played Bishop takes C3 in a sharper line. But overall, it's a safe line for black. I mean, the symmetrical English is not really a great way to play for a win. I've come to realize. That's a combative move by white. No? This knight to f4 as I stutter. Um, Quite a combative move you've got there. I mean, where are you going? To g2? Is that the idea to play? Your plan is to play knight g2? Maybe. Oh, that's deep. Knight g2. Knight g2, idea 93. I've seen knight d2, knight f1, knight e3, but I've rarely seen knight g2, knight e3. He could have just exchanged knights or let me exchange on d5. I think either way is okay. But he's avoiding the exchange of pieces. Now, I can play g5. But g5, is this like a clever trick or something? g5? What do you do? Mr. Clever. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. How are the ICE detentions coming? I feel like I saw Harrisburg in the news somewhere not too long ago, but I saw some picture on the news. It reminded me of Philadelphia. You know, do you have the same kind of like architectural buildings and stuff? I saw like what look like row homes. Like the brick row homes that are so common in Philly. Do you have that in Harrisburg? Yeah, there it is, 92. He's a weirdo. He's got to be a weirdo. Why is he playing so weird today? Mate. Where does my knight on f6 go? What does the dog say? Well, that knight can't be allowed to come into these squares, I think. Yeah, you've got the brick row homes too. So common in Philly and my family's old stomping grounds. It's interesting if you come to Europe, um, brick, red brick is not used a lot. It exists. It's interesting if you go around Budapest, um, it's very rare to see the sort of typical American red brick type of buildings. I mean, I always had the feeling it came from the English because the colonial buildings like in Philly and stuff. That's right. For lack of other squares, black plays knight h5. My knight's other squares not so tempting. Anyway, we get into some weird conversations here. Um, Bro, I had this crazy poker hand yesterday in Omaha, 5 card Omaha. It doesn't really matter what game it was. So there's this hand and like I flopped the nuts in Omaha. 3 9s, three of kind nines, top set, best possible hand. Of course, it can lose on the turn or the river, but still, it's the nuts. And I put in a big bet on the flop or raise, and then it was just me and this other guy. And then on the turn, the next card, inconsequential card came, like a deuce, and there was no flush and no straight. There was close to a straight. It was like almost possible to be a straight, but I was like, no, there's no straight. So I still have the nuts. So the guy bets and I raise, and then said guy, um, I don't really get why some Prism is so kind of what's the word I'm looking for? He's like extremely aggressive, confrontational. So, guy, anyway, the point of the story was I have the nuts, right? It's the turn on a poker hand where you have a community board with 4 cards on it. I have three of a kind nines, the best possible hand, and I like raise the guy, and he stands up, and he's like all in, and he's like, "I've got the nuts," and I'm having like a heart attack because I'm like thinking that I missed something. Maybe there's a straight that's possible that I didn't see. and and I'm like, I just keep staring at the board, like, what is this guy talking about? And then I'm like, oh, of course, he must have the same hand as me. I start to believe that there's like the possibility of someone having like a game with 5 nines in a deck of cards. It was so funny. It was insane. And so the guy like hallucinated that he had a straight. Um, Crazy. Straight hallucination. What is with Sun Prism, man? So I won like a huge amount of money on this hand where the guy hallucinated. It's like total beginner type stuff. I mean, it could happen to anybody, I guess. Especially if you're tired. Bro, Sun Prism is really getting on my nerves in this game. Why so uncompromising? This is very strange. He doesn't normally play like this. It's like he's a different person or something. What happened to the solid Sun Prism? Don't really understand it. Remember when he was solid? There'd be like a lot of draws and stuff. But again, he did play the Danish Gambit. But anyway, it was just a funny situation. You're like, oh my god, the guy has the nuts. I have the nuts. We were like, he's like, I have the nuts. No, I have the nuts. You have the nuts too. Okay. How are there 5 nines? And so the guy slowly realizes that he totally misread the board. I'm thinking like, oh my god, if this guy wins somehow on the last card, I'm gonna lose my mind. What is going on in this game, dude? This is crazy. You are you are an insane maniac. Insomniac. This is incredible, dude. And he's fast. He keeps coming up with crazy moves. Animaniacs. It's so funny though. I thought it was possible that we could both have 3 dives. I don't know what else to rationalize. It's like when you have hallucination in chess or something. What's the possible explanation? All right, man. Enough of this game. I'm really sick of this game, bro. It's like his 17th move in a row that he's threatening something. I could have taken on f5 there, actually. No, I couldn't. Never mind. Nope, my bishop was hanging. All right, 17th threat in a row. White playing like a super GM, but running out of threats. Now here comes the really tough part where he starts his insanely good low time play. Black's play was Darcy Lima approved. I also play white in the English, and I've had a number of games, these type of systems. Although bishop f3 is very suspicious. Phew. Scary monster. Had to trade queens. How does he do it? How does Sludgy do it? How does he do it? Really? No. What a game. What a game by both sides, but until the end, man. I like how Lichess has this new like accuracy measurement for the different phases of the game. Opening, middle game, end game. Is anybody still there? Mr. Coffee? You didn't answer me. Is anybody else out there? Can we get a subscriber? What a game. Boss 35. Try Twitch. We played a good game. We played a good game, and you only fell apart in the end game. A4 is a weird move. A4 was really bad. This is funny how my... Wait, can you play F3 or something? You can never really play F3, though. You're, like, paralyzed. You can play F3. Okay. You could just never capture, though. Okay, so you play F3, and I play H5. You're, like, frozen there. Oh, now you can go back to E1. And it's basically a draw. Interesting. Man, this knight G2 move, this is crazy, man. This is crazy what he did here. But I mean, beginning with this point, like knight F4 is the engine's number one move. I'm surprised the computer thinks black is better here. Why? Why am I better? Why should I be better? What do I have? I'm not castled, you are. I mean, that's the only real difference between our positions. This is weird. So rook c8. This position has never been reached. Strange. I think I made a mistake though. You know, like I played h6. I'm supposed to play bishop h3. So h6 is a novelty. And you now play knight d5. But h6 is inaccurate. I should just play bishop h3. That's what I normally play. Anyway, good game. I'm lucky to get a win there. I mean, it was equal right up until the very end. And after a4, king b6 is exclam Saji endgame technique. Walking in on the dark squares. I mean, that's the whole theme of this whole game, you know? I got exactly the dark square control that I wanted. Yeah, I didn't see f3 either. Well, you have to see rook e1 to defend your rook on f1, then it's a draw. All right, so we're starting a new game against this player. I don't know who this is. B3 noob. Do not know who this is, though I have my suspicions. We're gonna have to be very careful here. I blocked them for some reason that I don't remember why. So b3, b6. It's a b3, b6 obsessed player. But obviously very strong because they're 23-43. Yeah, it's not cheesy noob. And we're going to get another symmetrical English. Oh, he's a double fianchetto noob. Hi! How goes it? This is like Bhavnik Lilienthal. What do I do now? I don't like that. Knight c6. That looks problematic for me. Although white shouldn't have an advantage, I guess, anyway. How do we handle this? Go back? What would Capablanca do? So is this like a bullet player? 2700 bullet, 8 games. Yeah, that's weird. Extremely high chess 960, but that's because of bullet. But how few games they have is weird. Then a lot of blitz and rapid, which looks like he's some legitimate 2300. I don't know. Do you guys remember Sinus? Um, he made this weird. He sent me this weird message. He's going to be taking a break from the stream and stuff. But I had the feeling he was from Sweden. But I get confused because we've had so many players over the years play on my stream, and like it's hard to keep track of everyone. Um, but I feel like, what if this B3 noob is like Sinus's alter ego? Is that possible? It is possible. You're doing all right. Debating how I want to spend the rest of the day. Well, that's a nice luxury to have. Why does Uber driver, I mean, Drown the Clown, whatever his name is, uh, join these tournaments but not actually play? You're blessed. Okay, the combative knight h5. Not the soundest looking move ever. I'm not inclined to give you my bishop and wreck my kingside. This was the plan, to go home. Very boring game by me, but I have to say that in general I don't have a great record against the looks like he hung a pawn. I don't have a great record against the double fianchetto. Hedgehog. Now he's sacking in exchange. So he's a real wild man. Queen d5 doesn't work to take the exchange here. d7's hanging. So you don't want to take with the queen. We have control of d5, which is useful. Queen d5 Rook g4. Control of d5 square. Very useful. Queen b7. Drive him back. And now choose a rational place to go. Black is a maniac. The dangerous maniac, like most maniacs. By the way, I was playing poker last night. It was really weird. There was this, like, Hannibal, Silence of the Lambs, Red Dragon, Anthony Hopkins film festival. Like, it was really weird watching poker, watching Hannibal, watching movies while playing poker. That's weird. Normally we watch sports or something. I was like, this is strange. All right. Getting out of the pin. I realized I never watched the second Hannibal Lecter film. Hannibal. Maybe I did, actually, but it was so long ago I couldn't remember. Anybody remember this? It didn't have good reviews like The Silence of the Lambs, which was a classic. So anyway, we're off the subject again. My plan is what exactly now? Hmm. Okay. What if I attack that bishop? He's just going to play d6. I have f4 trapping his bishop. Not actually trapping it. Trapping, but not actually trapping. Okay, this move is kind of weird. I've never had fava beans. Well, I've heard of them, whatever they are. That's another subject. Fava Flav beans. A bit of an artificial move, isn't it? This knight to g4. b3 noob is a maniac. I just realized my rook is doubly defended. So I could move my knight on c3, theoretically. Oh, fava beans and a nice Chianti. That's the movie. Right. Although, okay, I don't remember that scene. I just saw bits and pieces, but there's a third movie that I did see. So the second movie is like Edward Norton. Now I'm getting them confused. Okay. Now my queen is trapped. B3 noob is a real maniac. Playing like it's bullet chess in 7+3. I don't get it. I could I could sack my queen here and be clearly better. But you really have to ask the question, like, is that worth it? I have queen d5. Then knight e5. This looks good. Who plays like this in this time control? Well, again, let's see his statistics. So 2375, 2343 rapid, but only 105 games. He just doesn't really play rapid. It's just every continuous one move threat he could come up with. I had already thought about the idea of sacrificing my queen, so this made sense. It's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. There's the back rank. It's like a completely tactically based player. Completely time and tactic based. But why do you want to play in a rapid tournament? You like my chances here. Yeah, well, I mean, I assume it's a winning position, but we have to be careful. The fundamentals of Black's play are so bad, you know? Of course, this is a lost position. There may still be some complications. B3 noob. Yeah, that's probably best move. Crazy. How do I have 30 seconds? He just makes every move. like using 0 seconds. I blocked the guy earlier. I don't remember why, but I probably should block him again. I don't know what his deal is. Very strange account. I think it's got to be sinus. Why would he just appear the next day after this weird announcement? Now, how do I win this position? Well, if I had time, I could win. But I'm going to have to give him a draw because of the time. It's embarrassing. I have to give him a draw because of time. I mean, it's fucking embarrassing. So strange, bro. How Black plays this game. How can you play like that? Galvatron, thanks for gifting a tier 1 sub to Sung Prism. Black made 4 blunders. 2 even near the end. It's so stupid. Just resign. It's a horrible game. How can one play like that? Like you're completely unhinged. Hangs h6. Hangs the exchange. Then he just plays a sequence of like perfect moves. So rook c5, he has chances to save the game. It's complicated. I thought this was just an easy win, but I couldn't find a way to finish him off. I looked at rook c7. I wasn't sure. You know, rook c7. Oh, I just double. You know, he's stuck. He has to move the king or something. This was the move I needed to find. It's like, oh yeah, I saw it, but then I hallucinated. It was like my turn or something. If it's my turn, I could do anything. I could just play king h2. You know, no, isn't king h2 winning? This is an easy win. Black played crazy, reckless. You know, that was horrible. I have to give him a draw there. That's embarrassing. If I was warmed up and faster, I would be able to win, but I just don't have the momentum today after the 14-hour poker game last night. No, Shaki, it's not. It's not. You're paranoid. You're paranoid. I'm paranoid too, but it's not a computer. He's just a bullet player who's pretty good, but has no discipline and very reckless. And is like motivated by having lost positions or something. He has another draw from the first game against Jeroen. Also, you saw the same thing. Really reckless. But he also like was probably lost against Jeroen. But Jeroen, the same as me, didn't have the time to finish him off. No, the guy's not a cheater. He's just playing bullshit and trashy chess with really fast clock skills. Jeroen, what's up? All right. So f4 it is. You choose to play f4. The gloves are off. Violently aggressive move from Jeroen. Let's just play knight f6. Yeah, it's like cheesy noob or something. Really weird. Yeah. B3. All right, can you take on E5 and then Queen D4, Knight C4 here, like a Blobix? You take, Queen D4, Knight C4, Queen takes A1. Does that work? Well, anyway, White shouldn't need to do that. I don't know about B3 there. Objectively, Black is just better here. Yeah, but Chiyashaki, you're worse than me in thinking everyone's cheating. I know. Like, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're out to get you. They're not out to get you, but we are. Some of us are getting a little too paranoid all the time. So it's hard to find the middle ground. You know, either you're paranoid and you think everyone's cheating, or you're pretending that the cheating doesn't exist. Yeah. All right. But I mean, Black's space advantage here looks pretty significant. Check, maybe Bishop D7. I'm trying to test this space. Everyone loves to play the birds, but let's face it, you know, this whole thing is kind of dubious for White. He really has very little space here. Is Bishop takes F6 a threat? This isn't so bad for White under the circumstances. I don't think that I played optimally. Okay, I play Bishop E7. And then I play Knight C6, and then I'm going to ram the d-pawn down your throat. What are you going to do about it? I'm threatening D4 now. With a clear advantage, I would think. Let's see. Does he try like Queen E1? Go Larson style? There's a face hugger with Knight B4, Knight A3. Probably not great for Black. I'm going to go D4. Cut him off. Bird is sketchy. That's a radical move. Sire. Ugly and effective. Wow. Yeah. So taking en passant. Taking en passant. You take with the queen. I castle. How bad is that for White? It's not clear what I should do here. Maybe take on D4. How does he take back? Do I have Knight G4, by the way? By the by. Knight G4. Not clear. Yeah, this is mind-boggling. I don't know what to do. Take. Not so bad for White, probably. He takes with a knight. It helps his knight. Black is better, but deciding what to do here is really tough. Rook C8, just... Wow. You could have played D3 as well. Maybe I should just castle. Takes on C5, takes. It would kind of gain a tempo. Then he can take on F6, check, take back. What would you guys do here? I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm going to take en passant, see which way he takes back. This is like the safest move, but I'm giving up my strong point and my space advantage with E4. Safest move, theoretically. If anyone's better here, it's Black. Black's got to be better. The thing is that what a lot of people don't realize is how important it is just to have a very small advantage. It can be enough to win a game. I have a very small advantage here. Maybe queen takes. you need to consider. Every time you move a pawn, you create more weaknesses. Seriously. So, this is interesting now. d4, e4, knight g4, bishop c1. Very double-edged. I could also play f5 at some point. Knight is protected, so no tactics. But I mean, this is a fundamental move. We're killing the bishop on b2. I told Astrobate 100,000 times, like, don't let this happen when you're playing the b3 systems or Queen's Indian. Your bishop gets shut down. It's bad. White has a lot more pawn weaknesses. But here, he wants to play e4, but the question is this. How serious is this? Knight g4, knight e3. You can't lose the exchange. And I also have the move f5. If I play f5, you take, I take back. It's not so simple. I don't have to play f5. I could play other moves like knight e3. Knight e3, take, take. Your run is quick. He's quick here. But he's threatening f5. So either knight e3 or f5. Those are my best options. What about a combination of both? Like f5 takes, knight e3 takes, takes. That's pretty cool. My king's still in the center. Need to get out. I have bishop f6. I wouldn't mind one extra tempo about now. f5 knight g3 looks problematic too. Maybe I have another move. This is not so easy. f5 knight g3. Damn. f5 knight g3 knight h6. Holding up the position. Oh man, he has a move there. This is awkward, man. All right. Not sure what's going on. I don't like f5. Yaron seems like he's in good form today. You think my brain just switches off in the chess games. Well, you play well, man, but you're not consistent. Gabaltromops. I get that feeling too. Playing against you. Is it loss of concentration? Do you get nervous? I used to get nervous when I was winning, and I would blow a lot of games. Seriously? Because the better my position was, the more nervous I would get. It became a problem for me for many, many, many years. If you get so nervous when you're winning that like it affects your play, that was an issue for me. I wasn't nervous in bad positions because I felt I had nothing to lose. So I actually played better in bad positions than I did in good positions. This is unclear. Bishop f6 e5. That's the key to the position. Keys to the game. c4 sacking a pawn. He has no other weaknesses. I guess we pile up. Other options besides, bishop f6, losing to e5. c4, sacrificing a pawn. That's terrible. Even d4 is strong. So I have to play. Oh my gosh. Wow. There. Wow. So I can play that. Oh no. Oh no. Knight d4. What does it do? What doesn't it do? Oh no, what does it do? Yasser Sarwan in the house. Removal of defense of the d4 square. You just played it. You didn't care. Don't calculate. That wastes time. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If a stranger comes up to the street, offers you candy, what do? First reaction, take the candy, pop it in your mouth? No. No. No, no, no. Oh, no. No, after 94, white has a difficult choice. What to do? I thought rook h3. But he probably is still lost, actually. Wow. So maybe 94. Yeah, that's the problem. So he has to take on d4. Oof. That's losing too. So 94 just wins on the spot. Wow. Well, he has to lose the exchange then, like knight c3 or something. Wow, that's bad. So he's just lost here. Yeah. He's not lost until rook f3. He's actually just about equal. He has to play knight b c3, developing the pieces. But what was my move was a mistake. Wow, castle's queenside, backing up the pressure. I didn't consider this. It seems unnecessarily risky. Why not like rook d8 or something? Rook d8. So after 93, he has a move, but he has to be careful. Knight b c3. But after rook f3, 94, it's over. He's just lost. Boom. Eat the candy. Take the poison and die. That's it. That's all you got to do. Just remember that every Halloween when a stranger offers you candy, don't take it home for your mom to check. Just pop it in your mouth and wait for the effects to take hold. Uber driver is here. Where's your friend, Drown the Clown? I might get to play Uber driver today. Guys, we have only 9 players. Only 8 at the moment. Where are my players? I didn't send the last minute reminder. My bad. I should have sent a last minute reminder. So due to lack of players, we might not be able to play the full. We're not going to be able to play the full 7 rounds, most likely. Not enough players for 7 rounds. I guess it's 5 or 6 max. Round 5 coming up. It's going to depend. Don't pause because we don't have enough players. We need you. We need everybody in the house. Gabaltrol Mops, no matter how bad it gets, stay with us. And thanks for the gift sub. He gifted the tier 1 sub to Sun Prism. King's India Defense is still the stream boss. Euron, that's a game worthy of taking a closer look at. The birds, it's risky. But I try to give it a different feel every time. It's fun to play against the birds. It's very imbalanced. Not easy to play the Dutch, play the birds. Very hard opening to play. but maybe rewarding if you really have a lifetime of experience, like Korchnoi or something. I mean, Korchnoi played the Dutch, I guess. I'm thinking of the French. Botvinnik, maybe better example. Korchnoi. Korchnoi probably played some Dutches. He played everything. Okay, so Giosaki, another Maniac style player. I'm gonna play. Yeah, you're pretty good against the Sicilian, I would think. Let's play the something offbeat. Is the board centered properly here? Well, it looks okay. A little to the right, but we can see the clocks. That's not a bad move, by the way. Knight c3. That's a somewhat annoying move that is seen from time to time. You can play it like a Grand Prix attack with f4. It's a reasonable response to knight c6. Nothing wrong with knight c3. Absolutely. 4 knights. We haven't played it a while, so I don't remember if you ever played this against me. Oh yeah, this is correct logical play by both sides. So what are you going to do? Queen d2? What do I do? I don't know if I've ever tried not castling there, but I think e5 is my best now. See, the problem is if you try to do bishop h6, you're going to regret it. Maybe. Okay, that might be a good move. So knight d4, knight d4, pawn d4, bishop d4, knight e4, knight e4, queen h4. Stay with me, people. Knight d4, knight d4, pawn d4, bishop d4, knight e4, knight e4, queen h4, white to play. No f3, no f4. You have to defend with another move like bishop d3. Then I can play, what can I play? Bishop d3. Bishop d3. Bishop d3 is a problem, no? I think I'm kind of screwed there. I don't think this is going to work, in this position. But I can go take, rook e8. All right, let's try it. Obviously, the other thing I can do is just retreat my knight back to e7, but it's very passive. 90, what? 94, 94, f5? Dude, what do you mean? My knight's hanging on c6. 94, 94, f5? I don't know. That's a bit much. I don't mind sacrificing a pawn. I considered it. Knight takes e4, but I'd like it better if had a little more prep for that piece act. All right, here. Now, knight e4, queen h4, bishop d3. There's a problem. I don't think it works. I mean, bishop d3 just refutes the so we can't do that. Like, there's something here. Maybe not. How much compensation do I have for this? There's nothing here. 94, 94. Wow. I have to play c5. Okay. Um, 94, 90 knight. It's a Benoni. That's a classic. This is a classic. Now we have it. Speaking of 94, all right, check. I had this game with Jay Bonin once. It was actually a theoretical. Oh, I had a crazy dream about Jay Bonin last night. He's an American. I am. I had a dream I was playing in the U.S. Amateur Team Championship on board one, and my team was like winning the tournament. We're playing for first place, and I'm playing Jay. He's this older player who has had really bad health issues. I don't know why he popped up in my dream though. It's really random. Okay, so now what would Kasparov do? You got to ask yourself, what would Kasparov do? The knight on e4 is pretty strongly placed. King on d1, come on, bro. That's losing. That's a losing prospect. I guess just bishop e5. You have f4. Shit. But I mean, I don't know. g5 now. Queen f8, passive. Rook d8. Rook d8 is passive but effective. What do I do here? Bishop takes b2, greedy, grabbing a pawn. Oh man, I don't know what to do. Queen f4, g3, queen f4. Shelf queen. I mean, the problem with bishop takes b2 is that it's a pawn, but I mean, it doesn't really contribute much to my position. I guess it loosens him up. Of course, I can play bishop takes b2, but then I have to put the bishop somewhere in the future. He dropped a piece, or did he? Yeah. Oops. Because this comes with this nice cheapo, which is most unfortunate for white. Tactical buzzsaw. Now with more cheapos. How about bishop e4? No, you don't want to do that. Okay. Well, there's the long diagonal. Saggy. He was saggy. Oh, you're not even threatening anything. f4. Okay. Please don't play f4. Yeah, this is a nightmare, man. You dropped your queen now. He's a little rusty. So I have a bad feeling about this opening, guys. Knight d4 is dubious. This was played in a game against this tough Estonian I used to play Blitz against from time to time. I had a bunch of games with this guy, Sepp Olav. He's a very good IM, or was anyway. I don't know. We used to play on ICC. I must have played him like 10 times. He was really, really good. Never met him, but 94 is unsound. Takes, c5, best try, yeah. Well, the computer doesn't want to insert rook e8, but anyway, it looks like 94 is unsound. I thought I had this. The bottom line is that I thought I had this. So the guy did it. His opponent did it. 94, 94. The problem is that queen h4. Oh, I didn't even see g4. I thought bishop d3 was enough. Oh, it turns out bishop d3 hangs the bishop. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I was afraid of the wrong thing. Of course, he has to play g4. Now rook e8. I have the weirdest feeling like I looked at this before. Bishop d4, bishop d4, f5. I get my piece back. Bishop d4, rather, queen takes d4, f5. Get my piece back, and he's still better. After everything's said and done. So we had a Chess Riddle 10 donation. 10 bits. So yeah, knight d4 was dubious. Takes, rook e8, f3, best move, and now I have nothing better than c5 or c6. And white is clearly a pawn up. You know, you have to consider taking en passant here. These kind of sacrifices are played in the same-ish King's Indian sometimes. I don't know that this is so easy for white. You know, you've got to be careful. If you castle queenside, you can get wrecked. I played tricks. No, I didn't play tricks. I thought it was the right move, but I was wrong. I made a mistake. It's not a trick. I'm supposed to play knight e7. It's correct. I just have to play knight e7, and then after g4, it's a game on. I didn't want to retreat. But every position is slightly different. The other move for black here, if we look at my history, I haven't been playing this too much lately, but a6, I've played in other games. It might be better to not commit to e5 right away. It's like a Kraken type thing. So anyway, yeah, I was a little lucky there. All right, we still have one game going on with Utero, and I don't know if we're going to have enough players for the 6th round or not. We'll see. Things have been a little slow around here. Kraken theory. Well, it's actually a Peertz. This is a true Peertz. Peertz. No, it's a true Peertz. But we can get a kind of Kraken transposition, right? After a6. I mean, the Peertz, you know, these type of Peertz lines are part of my inspiration for creating the Kraken, you know? A combination of things. These type of Peertz lines with a6, the prevalence of a6 in the Peertz, the modern idea of playing a6 in the Peertz instead of c6. That's exactly the whole idea, you know? I'm like, if the check cripple whatever is a playable system, then the Kraken's even better. But secondly, you know, the tendency of these Krakens to transpose to Sicilian-like structures against weaker players who don't know what they're doing and stuff. Yeah, I mean that's the whole basis of the playability of the so-called Kraken. So Gobbletronops, take your time. Gobbletronops, he tends to get kind of nervous in the service end, and I feel like he blows a lot of games because he plays too fast. This position looks quite tricky. Ironically, the white bishop on h1 is a liability. So bishop f3, great move. White has consolidated and appears ready to hold on. It looks close. White's d6 pawn is kind of overextended. The g3 pawn is loose. I wonder what the opening was. Another Dutch? Gobbletronops with white? Most likely some kind of Dutch? d4, f5, g4. Oh, you played the Korchnoi-inspired g4. I played that once against a very strong Dutch player, and it was a bad idea. I lost to that gambit the one time I tried it. I didn't really know what I was doing, though. Just tried inspiration. But if you're going to play the g4 gambit, don't play it against a lifetime Dutch expert. You know, they're probably not going to be not going to be caught off guard by a gambit like g4. G4 is a great move against someone who's like learning the Dutch, who probably doesn't have a lot of experience. They're very vulnerable, these guys who start to play the Dutch. Of course you do. Oh no, what is black doing? Your own spaced out. I think bishop c6 was indicated. Why did he put his bishop on g8? That's crazy. I don't even know why you would put your bishop on g8. Could black save the game by like getting all of white's pawns? It's possible. I mean, h pawn's gonna go, d6 is gonna go. Now you have a. I think I would have rather taken the d pawn there, but actually, yeah, this defends this. But now the d7 pawn is a huge liability. So we get h4, and then we gotta go back and get the d6 pawn. And if you can get that pawn too, you might have a chance to survive. Like in this position, for example, bishop c6. Bishop c6, very dangerous move. That's tough to find in time pressure. Wow. So he's got to corral all these pawns. Oh, he lost the d6 pawn. So it's still not 100% clear, though white is probably winning. You got to trade off the remaining pawns. It could happen, guys. It's heading for a draw. It's heading for a draw. Good job. Gobbletrons, don't lose. Draw. B4, really? That's got A4, I mean? That's a risky move. Good game, guys. Anyway, entertaining. It was entertaining. Stun Gambit is different, yeah. Stun Gambit much more standard than G4. Another interesting idea I always liked was this move Queen D3. You can play Queen D3, feigning to like take this pawn on F5, but then we can combine Queen D3 with like G4 ideas. All right, back tournament. Do we have enough players for round 6? Unclear. Uber driver paused, electrify paused. There's only 7 players left. 8 players left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 players. 7 players remaining. Saji, 4.5. B3 noob, 4. And Rowan in 3rd place with 2.5. If we get one more round, that'll be the last round. We're not going to have enough players. Sadly, I don't know what it is. I try to send messages Mondays, Tuesdays. I forgot to send a last call message today, so that hurt. I think we would have gotten a couple more players if I had had time to send out our usual like last call message. It's hard to get people to commit to this type of tournament in advance. So, maximum one more round left. Unless a million people. No, you can't join that late. The other thing is you can't join the Swiss after halfway through. That's kind of a bummer. Bummer, man. Guys, tomorrow night analysis stream. Whatever happens at Fight Club stays at Fight Club. Chess Club. Drinking Club. Whatever. Don't forget to donate 10 bits today and a gift sub. It's a good thing I'm playing live poker again. Alright. No, seriously, guys. All right, I'm hungry. I didn't eat dinner, so I don't mind if we finish a little bit early tonight. It's 8:47. I started at 7. Tournament will run 2 hours at that point. Normally it's a 2.5 hour tournament. Gobble troll mops with a draw, a buy, and a late join. Okay. Round 6 and most likely final. I don't think there's any way you can get 7 rounds from this many players. Happy feet. All right, happy pawn. Let's play e4. We haven't played e4. I'm warmed up. Chess riddle donate. Lessons. Yeah, I kind of hate the Scandinavian. I've been torn about what to do. As much as like I like delaying the attack on the queen on d5, I think knight c3 is still probably the best move. And queen d8, I don't approve of. But whatever. Chess riddle with what? 10 more micro stakes. Knight c3 b4. At this rate, who needs chess streaming? All right, bishop c4, knight f6, d3. What do I do if you play bishop g4 now? That's a thought that, I guess just 92, right? I don't need to like go into a legitimate pin. I don't know this. I don't know the theory. I mean, I was talking to George Zuhl. He's an IM from Germany, and this is like 2 years ago at the World Senior in Portugal. Zuhl was saying how good results he's had by playing this. Bishop c4 and d3 against the Scandinavian. People just like they don't encounter it that often. They don't handle it well. They're all, especially again, it's a question of like who you're playing against. A lifetime, if you're playing John Bartholomew, like a lifetime expert on the opening, it's one thing. But most people like tend to be like tourists, as far as things like the Scandinavian. They haven't played the Scandinavian for 20 years. They're just like playing it for the first time or whatever. So boom, winning a pawn and devastating this guy's king safety. This is a classic typical trap. Of course, you should never play e5 in that position. He should have played bishop g4 immediately. But my point is, like, people like to pick up things like the Scandinavian because it's apparently easy to play. You just play d5, your queen comes out, whatever. Anybody can do that, right? It's simple. And the main lines they study, but my experience has always been consistently that I've done well with sidelines in all major openings. A little bit of sidelines goes a long way. This is worth trying, though. But I mean, black should not play e5. I thought bishop g4. Alternatively, you could play maybe g6, bishop g7, or even e6, and it's a kraken. McCracken. a6 with the idea of the kraken. You can play the kraken. That's another inspiration for me for the kraken. These a6, I mean, queen d6, a6 Scandinavians, very similar to krakens. They have an American alcohol now called Kraken. It's like a whiskey or something, I think, or rum. Maybe it's rum. I went in the liquor store when I was in the States back in October, and there was like this big bottle of Kraken. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that existed. Check, 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 check. Oh, it's rum. Okay. I assume it's U.S. produced, but I'm not sure. Actually, rum from the U.S. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know where it's produced. I take it back. All right, it's probably produced, like all rum is like produced in the Caribbean now. Okay, whatever. Well, it's marketed mostly in the States, but I guess it's international. It is rum. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Pirate-based spirits. That makes sense. The Kraken, of course, it's rum. Whiskey. What am I, stupid? No self-respecting pirate would drink whiskey. No self-respecting Kraken would drink whiskey. Spice black rum. So it's like Captain Morgan. It's like a cooler version of Captain Morgan. I used to like Captain and Coke. That's good. Yeah, I used to like to drink, rum and Coke because rum isn't that brutal like other hard liquors, and the alcohol content is slightly lower than maybe like whiskey and I don't know, vodka, very slightly, but also you mix it with Coke, and you can drink rum and Cokes like all night and not get like brutally drunk, you know. The cola actually helps, I think, to kind of negate, the effects to some degree. Misguided alcohol advice from Saji. Free bad advice. Happy Pawnda is really doing his best to save this. That was your top shelf of choice. Yeah, good stuff. Keeps you awake, The cola helps. You'll get sleepy. I don't want to get sleepy if I'm out drinking. I hate that. That's the problem with drinking heavy beer and stuff. The last thing I want to do is like drink alcohol and get sleepy. If you're like out at a party or something, that's lame. Rum and Coke definitely good. All right, it's been a while. So not popular here though. Like in Hungary, nobody drinks. I mean, they do, but very standard Western liquors. It's either whiskey or it's usually whiskey. Whiskey is more popular than anything. Of course, we have Palinka, um, very trendy, classic here. Palinka is brutal. It's just like, dude. Yesterday they offered me Palinka. I was like, nope, just give me the vodka. Vodka, it's distilled. Man, Palinka, especially like the homemade variety, it's devastating. You get such a bad hangover from this stuff. Phew, your head hurts for like weeks. No, man, Happy Pawn after that blunder in the opening, defending really well. Very sensible play. There's this problem with H7 though. He's lost. There's nothing you can really do. And then what I like about this D3 type of setup is this is very low risk. Like, what can possibly go wrong? The thing about the Scandinavian that I think is the trickiest thing about doing this, if I take a second to just explain it, the point of Zool and talking about this stuff is like Scandinavian players they're all oriented toward, usually facing, you're almost always facing D4. And the D4 pawn, because the knight's on C3, is like a target all the time. And so when we play bishop c4, you're giving them a totally different look. There's no target on d4. And so black, they don't know what to do. They just know what to do. Another interesting line, actually, that I have played, well, particularly against queen a5, is Elvest's experimental move. I don't know where he got it from, but you talked about b4, but rook b1. I like playing queen a5, rook b1, and then for b4. You don't have to play d4 though. You just play d3. Yeah, so this is a problem. Can't hang h7. So I have to take back with a knight. Now black is definitely lost. I have I have 94 and take the bishop and bye bye birdie. Well, the dark square bishop's going to be a the dark square bishop's going to be a killer here as well. This. See, less pawn moves equals less weaknesses. And so there's no d4 pawn for black to like attack. You know, it's so easy to play. But I think the problem is for the Scandinavian players, like they don't know what to do. It's like an amorphous sort of position. No longer they have all the standard plans. You just take all the standard plans away from them, and they're left to just like try to think of something. Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. I don't really want to trade queens, but I'm probably going to end up anyway having to do that at some point. This diagonal is devastating. I think this will be our last round, guys. So thanks for playing. Tomorrow night is analysis stream. So if you'd like to join us and you're a subscriber, share a game. Oof. Bishop f6. Some nasty stuff here. He resigned. But just for quick reference, after queen d8, bishop c4, I'm curious. D3 dubious. The computer doesn't like D3. Whatever. Okay. I like D3. I don't care what you say. D3 dubious. Objectively, you know, okay, knight f3 is a move. D4 is the main move. Okay, bishop c4 also, like, not the main move. But, yeah. Stockfish here claiming that black is better. Look what the best move is. Stockfish, depth 44. A6 is the best move. But it comes to its senses. Black is not better. It's either 0 or white is better. And black's best move is a6. That is the Kraken. I mean, this transpose literally transposes to a Kraken after a6. And no, look at this. Not one player, 1, 2, 3 Grandmasters, 4 Grandmasters, 4 GMs in the list, 9 games, no one played a6 here. Next round, I don't think we're going to have a next round because there's not enough players. But right now, it looks like B3 Noob scores 5 points. Euron in second place, ahead of Sun Prism on tiebreak. Uber Driver with just a couple of games. Of course, Chess Riddler didn't join us. Even if you did, I don't think there'd be enough players. We have 7 players, and most players have played each other already. There's very little chance the 7th round will take place. I don't imagine that's possible. I can't believe it's possible. I mean, I've played 1, 2, 3. I haven't played Uber Driver. I haven't played Gobble Trollmops and Uber Driver. I could get a pairing, but not everyone is going to be able to get pairings. And there's only like one buy allowed, right? Per round. I just don't think that this can happen. I'm happy if it does, but we usually get like 20 players, and lately it's been a little bit slow here, guys, because nobody loves me anymore. They only donate 10 bits all the time, and only like occasional gift subs. Don't forget to love your favorite chess streamer. School holiday, isn't it? Oh, well, I mean, it's summer. School holiday. But it's not an explanation for what's going on. Um, Summer was never a dead time. More kids that can play. They're not in school. It's Trumponomics and World War III type of stuff that's hurting business. Permanent World War III, Trumponomics. I feel like everybody is like broke. Everything's more expensive. Cost of living is just higher. Nobody can afford to donate or subscribe. I used to be able to almost make a living from streaming. Now no one donates anything. And it's all really like clearly since the beginning of this year. Total downfall since all the shit started going to hell. Of course, the Ukraine war didn't help. Now we've got Iran, plus all kinds of bullshit coming out of the US. Adults are broke. New hobby time, ping pong, sewing, watching porn. I don't know, Let's go. Come on. We got a game? Wow. Game 7. We got game 7. I don't know how we got 7 rounds with. That's crazy, bro. We actually got 7 rounds out of 10 players or 9 players. How is it even possible? I can't believe it. Did I do this last time? Yeah, I played knight c6. That was an experiment. But d5 is my go-to. I can't believe we got 7 rounds out. Great. I don't mind. I mean, I am hungry. But been very busy. 14-hour poker game. 2 p.m. to 4 a.m. last night. Came home, went to sleep around 5 a.m. Woke up at 12. And I feel surprisingly good. Last week I was like dead, and I don't know why there was a huge difference. That was a mouse slip? Oh. Oh no. I can't give you a take back. That's what they all say. It was a mouse slip. I saw it at a Simon Williams course. I've probably seen this move before. You're playing an Albin. I think he's lying. That's like, oh man, I didn't mean to raise 20,000. I have faced this before. It's an Albin. Black doesn't have to play, obviously relation to the Staunton Gambit. F5, F5, F3, F5, G4. Don't know what my best move is here. So many different options in so little time. All right, Bishop F5 is playable. Let's play. But I mean, I'm not sure he's telling the truth. E4 it's not good, but it's a move. He might be lying, fibbing. Like E4 was an intentional gambit, but just pretend like he played it by accident. Arthur Bisgeier, told people like if you're losing, never let your opponent know. The worst thing you can do is say, "Oh, I made a mouse slip." If you really made a mouse slip, you don't say that. You only say it if you're faking it. Speaking of the Kraken, we got Kraken themes. Queen d6 Scandinavian, a6. Sorry, Sludgy with the cheapo. If I played h5, you would see this coming. But by playing queen d6, I was able to. No, h5 is too obvious, chess riddle. That's the problem. This is Asterbait style. You never show your hand, You got to keep it kind of subtle. Asterbait would always think about the game like that. He's funny. Everybody sees h5 coming, and it's not a very constructive move. I guarantee you Gabaltromus would have saw it. They're like, why did you play h5? Oh, bishop h6, of course. But queen d6 is tricky. You know, you're like, oh, what's he doing with queen d6? Oh, he's going to castle queenside. Just Riddle gifting a tier 1 sub to Gabble Troll Mops. Thank you, man. Thank you. Now we're really, it's like a snowball avalanche around here. Rolling, rolling. Thank you, very generous. That we got in game 7. We won the tournament 6.5. B3 Noob got a bye. That's a nice way to finish second. So it's a good thing I won. If I lost, B3 Noob would have won the tournament. The mysterious B3 Noob. So Euron's still playing. It's a Sveshnikov against Happy Pawn. Queen d2 in the Sveshnikov. That's a kind of rare bird. Anybody h5, castles queenside, bishop h6? Does that seem familiar? Well, Happy Pawn sacking a knight on b5. That's a thing, but there was this crazy game where Banus lost in Reykjavik a couple years ago, where some Indian GM who was rated like some low-rated 2500 random Indian grandmaster beat Banus with that famous line that no one plays anymore from a million years ago, the Adorian book. Oh, another sad news that you guys really can't relate to, but most people can't relate to, but Horvath Tamash died. He was an IM, and he was Adorian's collaborator on the groundbreaking book on the Sveshnikov that Adorian wrote in the 80s. And Horvath Tommy was a good player, and he was very pivotal for the chess club. There's always been a good chess club in Zalaegerszeg in southwest Hungary, and he always ran all the tournaments and ran the club there. A very strong team. So Horvath Tamash died. He was like 75 or less. But I was sad. He seemed like a nice guy and a huge contributor to the Sveshnikov, the Hungarian Sveshnikov school, because it was him and Adorian, and Adorian died like 2 years ago, and now Horvath Tommy died. So they're all gone. And if you think about it, Leko would end up playing the Sveshnikov a lot because of Adorian, who became his coach at some point. But the Sveshnikov is it's not I don't know. It's not as trendy as it once was. I mean, I think it's a good system though. Maybe one of the best. But hard to learn. You know, the structures are very tricky. So Happy Pawn here, not your typical bird. Sacking a piece. Open A file. Knight on D5, extremely strong. I don't know how easy this is for black. You know, I feel like we're up a piece. We should be winning, but first of all, the knight on d5 is a killer, man. You got to get rid of that. And even if you do get rid of it, black's bishop is so bad, and white has these like passed pawns and the a file. This doesn't look easy at all. That is not a good idea. That was not a good idea. Castling queenside is mental. Happy Pawn. Castle kingside, it's a no-brainer. You've got your rook on the open file. Your king is safe. This is a really bad decision for white to castle queenside. Still, it may not be that easy for black. Did we talk about h5? That's kind of a total cheapo now. But he did eliminate, I mean, Euron eliminates the knight on d5, white's best piece. But now these pawns they're toothless. With your king on c1, you can't really play your pawns forward. And there's h5. 2 games decided by bishop h6. Jeroen immediately learning from me. And Chess Riddle with the H5 suggestion for my game just a few minutes ago. Funny. How the same theme pops up again and again. Bishop H6 wins another game. Good job, Jeroen. So Jeroen will win it, and he will take third place ahead of Sung Prism. They actually tied. Oh my god. So they tied on tie breaks. And Jeroen, they both had a bye. How does Jeroen win this on tie breaks? Did they play each other? He got a forfeit. They drew their individual game. They had the exact same tie breaks. So I wonder how it decides the tie break there. They had the same tie break points, and they drew with each other. That's interesting. So Jeroen was white. Probably performance rating. So Jeroen performance rating 2149. Sung Prism. Yeah, has a lower performance rating. Just 2081. So maybe Mr. Coffee's right. Well, anyway, good job. Jeroen was in good form tonight. And I won the tournament ahead of the mysterious B3 noob. Good job, me. Anyway, tomorrow night, Mr. Coffee, thanks to all of you guys. We're going to be back with analysis stream Thursday. Thanks for joining us. Glad we got in all 7 rounds. I'm expecting to see more players next week. We'll probably have Arena. Arena Crush. Great idea. We'll have an Arena Crush. See you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye. Congratulations to me. I mean, Sludgy. Thanks, Chess Riddle. Bye-bye.